Well, good afternoon, folks. It's Saturday afternoon here, 28th of May. Does not look as nice outside our windows here today. It's actually pretty stormy, about an inch of rain, thunderstorms. So gloomy part of the Memorial Day weekend here kicking off. But good news, Sunday, Monday looked pretty awesome with 80s sun and a much better latter half of the weekend here. We'll start with a recap of the world here, ending here today, so almost in the history books. Here in the U.S., this past week has been 1.3 degrees colder than last year, coldest in 5 years, 10th coolest in 37 years. So below average national temperatures here this past week. 49% wetter than a year ago, wettest in 7 years, third wettest in 37 years. So much above average on that front. Up in Canada, a little bit warmer than last year, still below average, wettest in 4 years. Europe, again, warmest in 4 years. China's finally warmed up, warmest in 7 years. Australia, warmest in 5 years. World overall, a little bit warmer than last year and wettest in 3 years. Maps inset left are the trends versus average for temp and precip. Thought we'd real quick recap a spring. Meteorological spring is almost in the history books as well here, another few more days. But so spring, meteorological spring is 1 March through 31 May. So this big map is temperature trends now versus average. And what we see here in the U.S., there was about just a hair warmer than last year, but that makes it the warmest in 5 years and 8th warmest in 37 years. So above average, really from California to Texas, the south, southeast, parts of the Midwest into the Northeast. While it was very volatile, up and down, we had a warm March, frigid cold April, now having a warmer May here. But overall, again, just the warmest in 5 years. Wettest, 14% wetter than last year, making it 16th wettest in 37 years, so above average on that front. Map bottom right are the trends versus average, versus last year. So warmer across the south than a year ago and much, much colder across the north, up in North Dakota, Minnesota than a year ago. So really cold up there. Dry precip trends versus average map inset left there. Again, very dry, obviously, from California into Texas, where they've had lots of wildfires. Corn Belt not doing too bad. Actually, we've had more rain than a year ago, so good news there. We'll look here at the trends here for this week here. Now, the last couple days here of May, over the Memorial Day weekend into early June here. Here in the U.S., we're expecting about 0.7 warmer than last year, 12th warmest in 37 years, so above average. Really, that warmth is going to be from Texas to the Midwest into the Northeast for sure. Again, we'll be in the 80s here probably by Sunday, Monday. Map inset left there, bottom left is temps versus last year. So again, much, much warmer from Texas to the Northeast than a year ago. And precip inset left there is bottom left is the precip trends versus average. Precip, again, about 32% drier than last year, driest in 11 years, fourth driest in 37, so much below average on that front. Still some tornado thunderstorm threat. Again, this is getting out of the core peak spring season, but then now we're getting into the summer thunderstorm season, which tends to move a little bit further north into the upper Midwest and into the Northeast here. So we'll watch that here as we go through the summer season. We were on with the CNBC folks, Fast Money, Melissa talking about our hurricane season outlook. Again, our clients have had that for many, many months, but talked about it here yesterday on Fast Money, and again, actually made the team laugh as we were talking about how mousetraps sales go way up in hurricanes. And it makes sense if you think about it. Hurricane Sandy here in the Northeast, we all remember that. Again, flooding, the subways are flooded. Where do the mice and the rats go? They have to move. And so where do they move? They tend to move into your home. And if it's partially damaged or flooded, you see just a huge spike in mousetrap sales. So we, among other things, but that's how we made the Fast Money team laugh with our hurricane outlook. And again, we do expect 20 named systems here, putting in the top 4 of 166 years of history. So an active season, again, very worried about Texas, Florida, and even here in our Northeast Mid-Atlantic area. And a lot of that's just due to La Nina, means no wind shear in the Atlantic Ocean, actually. And AMO is still, the Atlantic Multi-Decadal Oscillation Cycle, still in a very warm phase. It's been flirting with number 1 here for a couple years now. So again, warm Atlantic means just lots of fuel for tropical activity. We look at next week here, again, getting into June here, hard to believe, but here in the U.S., temperatures about 4.4 cooler than last year, 17th coolest in 37 years, so just a hair below average. Last year, this second week of June was just record hot. Again, number 1 hottest in over 37 years. Precip just a hair drier than last year, driest in 4 years, 15th driest in 37 years, so below average. Maybe if there's some wet spots, maybe the southeast coast in Florida, but again, overall, looks like a dry week for the U.S. overall. We just aggregate these trends here now for 29 May through 11 June, and this big map is mean temps versus average. Again, warmer trends for Texas into the Northeast, Midwest, and cooler trends where it's been cooler in the Northwest, Rocky Mountains, Northern Plains. Precip trends versus average are bottom left there. So, folks, we hope you have a great rest of your Memorial Day weekend. We will be back here again this time next week.